What is up, everybody? Welcome to my year-end series of specials for 2020. We did it. This is my year-end series. I call them year-end series. This one is for 2020. This is the first. We are kicking it off early this year. Usually towards the end of November, early December. So we're doing it a little early for you guys this year to bring in some holiday cheer as we wrap this year to an end. Thank God. So we're going to be kicking it off with a special one. That's right. This is the album cover of all time, the best album covers artwork of all time, countdown to number one, my personal favorites. This is new for the series. I've never done this before. Every year, in my countdown, my year-end specials, I always try to put a new one in. So we do the Game of the Year Awards, which is the last video of the series, which is the big one, the countdown. I do my favorite movies. I do my favorite music album of the year, which will also be another big one. So I want to change it up. I do tech of the year. I wanted to do something different this year to change it up for you guys, and I came up with this one. So we're going to start it off with Kiss, Destroyer. This is a classic. This is an amazing album, but we're not talking about the album. We're talking about the cover artwork, and this is so iconic with the whole band, and it's like right out of a comic book. It's that iconic... these are album covers that you're going to say to yourself, whoa, these would be great on vinyl, right? You got that big album artwork, and these are sick on vinyl. So I'm kicking it off with Kiss Destroyer. I think it's one of the best. Van Halen live, right here, right now. I remember this as a kid, and I always remember my uncle, my father, always had this album, and I never really understood the album cover artwork until I got older. And I remember my grandmother, because she was very religious. I always remember my grandmother, she loved this album. She loved this album artwork. And something, album artwork has to hit you, has to have a special punch and meaning, and this is definitely has all of them. This is a very powerful, iconic image. It's quite clever. It's quite different, and it's an album artwork that you're gonna remember. Absolutely. And that's why it made this list. Rob Zombie, Hellbilly Deluxe. I always remember this one. I just was obsessed with this album artwork when I was in high school. This was just something that I was just obsessed with. I thought it was just fucking badass. That's what I used to call it when I was a kid. And I look at this today and I still think it's the same. It's like, this is the best capture of Rob Zombie. Like, if you could think of what when you see Rob Zombie in real life or even on stage, completely different, obviously, but if you could think of him, of how he sounds in his music, and if you could imagine what he would look like, if you didn't already know, you would think of him as this. This is like Rob Zombie to the fullest. And it's funny, looking at the Google images, I see a picture of the dual disc, and I actually used to collect dual discs. Megadeth, Countdown to Extinction. This was just, it was a simple, cover, meaning it didn't have a lot going on, but it stuck with you, and it went well with the album, and it's one that I remember. I remember having this on vinyl. My father had this on vinyl. I remember he gave this to me. I remember when CDs first started making a big, debut. my father went to the record store and he goes, I'm getting you this on CD. I remember it was this. And well, it was another one that's on the countdown that you're going to see soon. But this was just like stunning. And they had remastered it and they had, cleaned it up from the vinyl. And I remember listening to this on CD, but this was another iconic one. Mechanical Animals. Now, you could say this about almost every Marilyn Manson cover. This is the one that you'll remember. This is I remember picking this up at the Wall, which was a music store close by, and I was at school at the time, and my parents went to go get it for me, and I remember coming home, and my parents had said they would do this from time to time with either like video games or music albums, and they would say, I would be thinking about this all day at school, and I would came home and they said, "Oh, Sean, we lucked out. We couldn't find your Mechanical Animals," and I said, crap. I wanted to hear it so bad. I wanted to sit on my room, my big Sony Discman, and just vibe, And then I went into my room and it was sitting on my bed. And I remember it was in like a reddish jewel case. I still have the jewel case because I put all my albums and album covers in a binder. Great album, great cover artwork, very iconic. Especially if you've seen the Dope Show video that went along with this, with his new look. Pantera, Vulgar Display of Power, another simple album cover, but literally packs a punch. Just always remember it. I'm looking there and I'm looking at the Beavis and Butthead one. That's funny. Wow, what a great album cover, and what one of the best hardcore metal albums ever. What a great introduction to Pantera. This was another one that we had bought on CD when my dad had picked up Countdown to Extinction. It was that one and this one, because we had it on cassette, we had it on vinyl, and having this on CD was like, wow. The only bad thing with CD was coming from vinyl was you didn't have the, that glorious big artwork. You had the tiny little square from the CD. Or worse yet was when you had it on cassette, but the vinyl was beautiful for, cover artwork. But, that's why he had the quality of the CD, but, and now today with iTunes and all the digital, it's a joke, really. But it is what it is, you move along with the times. I still collect CDs and I still collect vinyl, and I do collect cassettes. Black Sabbath, self-titled. This album cover always scared me. This was a spooky one. Greatest metal album of all time. But the album cover really haunted me, I remember, as a kid growing up. Of course, we had this on vinyl. And I bought the, when I do my new series next year, my massive giant music collection series, and we go through my binders and we go through my collector's edition sets, I bought this. I have multiple copies of it, but I bought the CD box set of the Black Sabbath box set. It was limited numbered, and this is in there, and it's just a gorgeous artwork. Now we're getting down to the top. This, for the longest time, was my number one ever, and it still is, in a lot of ways. I'm going to tell you a story. I was so obsessed with this album artwork. I mean, look at it. It's fucking amazing. There's no other word. And Ozzy's just such a badass, and this was just a badass cover. So I had this in the house, And then as I grew up, I don't know what my uncle did with his copy. And my dad had it at one point, and then we moved. So, of course, I owned it on CD and I owned it on cassette. But later on, I said, I got to own this on vinyl. And for the longest time, I couldn't find it. And vinyl's not cheap. And there's like a lot of reprints, and I wanted the original and I wanted it sealed. We were in Florida one year. We had a winter house down in Florida. We would spend a couple months. And I was down in Florida, and they have a lot of flea markets. It's a big thing down there, and there's a lot of pawn shops and whatnot. So I was looking for this thing. So I says, I'm going to make it where I find this thing this year, because there was a lot of vinyl sellers. So I got their cards, and every month I was down there, I would call and I would say, any hits on The Ultimate Sin? Nothing that year happened. And I had forgotten about it, and I didn't really search for it here, and I could have bought it and paid eBay prices, whatever they were. So I had forgotten about it. So later that winter, we went back down to Florida. And I was in the room, I was unpacking. I had my own room. And I said to myself, shit, you know what? I got to call around, see if how my vinyl guys are doing. And I was looking for some other things too. I was looking for Tool. I was looking for a Korn vinyl, whatever I was looking for. They were pretty good. They could usually get you what you were looking for. And they knew me from past years, so I would always use the same guys. Kind of like what I do around here now. So I picked up the phone and I called the first guy, and he picks up and he goes, yeah, I got it. It's right here. I'm like, no way. I'm like, dude, it's me. Sean, hold it. I'm coming there. Of course, they weren't open. So the next day that the flea market was open, he was there, and he had it aside, and I got a nice brand new mint sealed copy vinyl of The Ultimate Sin, and I just think it's fucking amazing. I had to share that story. Master of Puppets, iconic album, but iconic album cover. You show this to anyone and they know what it is. Now we're going to come across the next two that really fought for the top spot, because I really feel that these are the two most sickest album covers. And one you've seen an unboxing recently on my channel, or earlier in the year, for a band called Bell Witch, an underground band. They're known to be called doom metal. This is an epic fucking masterpiece. It's like an 80-minute song. It's on 2 discs or 2 vinyls or whatever you want to call it, and however you buy it. I prefer vinyl for this because of the album artwork, and when you flip it, when you fold it, it becomes one picture. This is just, to me, amazing. This is just when I look at this, the first thing I think of is Dark Souls or Demon Souls, or like Bloodborne. You know what I mean? Like a Souls game, like a From Software Souls game. This is just fucking badass. And as much as I love this fucking artwork, the number one will always be, for me, Marilyn Manson, Antichrist Superstar. This CD, this album artwork is just, it's iconic to me. I remember seeing this and it just gave me chills. The inside of the booklet, the inside of the cover, the back of the cover, and the front. And this is very, very hard to get on vinyl. They're very collectible, Marilyn Manson vinyls. The artwork, this was just, this was like a perfect cover for its time and for where Marilyn Manson was at in 96 and the whole Antichrist Superstar era. And this was just like, it captured the album and the whole scene perfectly. And I love this cover, and I love this album. So it wins my album artwork award. Definitely. Thank you guys for joining me for my first 2020 year-end series, year-end special. We got so many more planned, and of course, the big one at the end, the 2020 Video Game Awards. Whoa, who's going to take the title this year, guys? And my music album of the year awards. Who's going to win the record of the year? You guys got to stay. This goes all the way into December. You guys got to stay tuned for more specials, more holiday Christmas vlogs, and year-end specials are coming. Countdowns are coming, exclusive gameplay, giveaways, and lots more. We're going to have fun on this channel. We got exciting content coming. Take care, everyone. Be safe. Be happy. Hope to see you again soon on the next video.